Good morning, students. I hope you are all doing good. Let us see what we are going to discuss in today's class. Good morning, students. In today's class, we will start with our new chapter, that is periodic classification of elements and periodic properties. First we will see what about the periodic classification of elements, and after that we will go to periodic properties. Clearly it is visible that this topic is related to study of elements only. Is it okay? Now first immediately question periodic classification of elements. By seeing that, anyone generally we will get the question, why do we classify elements? Why we have to classify elements? Very simple answer. To study the properties of elements in an easy way. We need to study the properties of elements. Otherwise, we cannot understand what is that element. Is it correct or not? You can ask immediately, why we have to study the elements? If you know the properties of that element, whether it is physical property or chemical property, whatever it is, if you know the property of element, we can use that one in a proper way. If we know the properties of elements, then we can use the elements in a proper way. Is it correct or not? Nowadays we are getting so many applications. Okay, this science and technology is developed. All this because of these elements were known to us. If we don't know the elements correctly, we cannot use them properly, and so many applications will be gone out. Is it correct or not? So what is the first question immediately our mind will say? Why do we classify elements? To study the properties of elements in an easy way. For example, this simple thing, that classification will be happening in our day-to-day life also. Students, they will adjust the bags by classifying classworks one side, homeworks one side. To pick up the classwork or homework easily, generally classification is happened here itself. In a librarian classify the books into different categories. One rack contains chemistry books, one rack contains psychology books, one rack contains biology books. Like that they will classify. Why? If any customer comes, okay, immediately they have to pick the book and they have to give. If they are not classified, selection of the book is very difficult. Where that book is present, we cannot say. Is it correct or not? Here, in a library, why we have to classify the books? To pick the book in a easy way. In your bag, why you are classifying the books? Separately, classworks one side, homeworks one side, or on the book you will write chemistry homework. Like that you will write. On the book you will write chemistry classwork. How do you write all these things? To get the book in an easy way. After the entrance of the teacher into class, immediately we want to pick the book without searching. Everything to make our life easy, we are classifying these things. Like that here also, to study the properties of elements in an easy way, we need to classify the elements. First, why we have to know the properties of elements? If you know the properties of elements, then only we can use them properly. Not only that one, let us consider, we know water properties. Is it correct or not? Water is colorless, tasteless. It is tasteless actually, but in our regular usage, whatever water we are using, that is containing some taste. Okay. So many properties we know about water. It will not harm to our body. That's why only in our day-to-day life, if you see a colorless substance in a beaker or in a glass, immediately we can drink or we can wash our hands because we know the properties of water. But same person, let us take ourselves, we entered into chemistry lab. In that chemistry lab, you have seen two beakers which contain colorless liquids. Can you touch them without any thinking? We cannot do that one because in chemistry lab, like water, so many other liquids might be there. Those are also colorless. We don't know which one is water and which one is acid. Without knowing that, if you keep hand in the acid, it will be harm to us. Is it correct or not? In chemistry lab, we will be very careful because there we will be coming across with so many chemicals. So we have to be aware of that. What are the properties of water? What are the properties of acid? Then which one is acid, which one is water, we will come to know. Is it correct or not? Then we can use acid in a proper way and we can use water in a proper way. So in our day-to-day life also, this type of things will be happen. If you know the use of the substance clearly, then our properties of the substance clearly, we can use them properly. Like that here also, if you know the properties of elements in an easy way, then we can make use of them easily. Okay, that's why our first question answer we got. Why do we classify elements? To study the properties of elements in an easy way, we need to classify elements. That is okay. Who will classify? Scientists only. First classification. Now I am going to start with ancient classification. Ancient classification of elements. Okay. Then okay. Classification of elements is required. Then what about this periodic? All of you remember this term. What is this periodic term? Later in the classifications, I will only mention that one, and again once I will stress that one. Then you will understand why it is kept in our heading. Periodic term, why we have kept in the heading. That one we will come to know. No problem. Is it okay, ma? Now, coming to ancient classification of elements. First classification was given by J. Thomson. He classified the elements into metals and non-metals. Simple classification only. J. Thomson classified the elements into metals and non-metals. At that time, that much thinking was not there. He started that we need to classify. That is great thing here. Initiation was taken by J. Thomson. We need to classify the elements to study them properly. There itself he has thought that one, and he started thinking of these elements. At that time, very less number of elements are there. Nowadays we have 118 elements. At present we have 118 elements. Out of that, 6 elements properties are clearly not known, so we will come across with 112 in our classification. But initial days we have 23-30 elements only. Is it okay? Not discovered. Elements were not discovered. Up to that, in olden days, this is ancient classification only. At that time, 23 to 30 elements were there. So J. Thomson attempted to classify those elements into metals and non-metals. Metals have separate properties, non-metals have separate properties. Depending on the properties, he classified the elements into metals and non-metals. Okay. But after this classification, he found that some exceptional cases. Example, all metals are solids at room temperature, but he found that mercury is showing maximum number of metallic properties, but it is liquid. And coming to non-metals, let us consider graphite. All non-metals are bad conductors of electricity. Actually, that is the common property. All non-metals are bad conductors of electricity, but graphite is good conductor of electricity. Next, mercury is liquid, graphite is good conductor of electricity. Like that, different properties are there, which are getting exceptions. And one more thing, he felt slightly difficult to study the elements by classifying into two categories only. J. Thomson felt little bit difficult by classifying the elements into two categories only, metals and non-metals. Okay. Furthermore, classification is required, like that he thought, and even so many exceptions he is getting. Because of this, we need to go for another classification. Now remember carefully, atomic structure also like that only. Atomic models tried to explain the structure of atom. Okay, first model J. Thomson, he tried to explain something. But because of some drawbacks, next model was erased. Like that, first whatever the models were discovered, okay, in that they will select the drawbacks and they will go for next model. Like that, it will be going on in advanced. Is it okay? Now, what is the important thing coming under here? The idea of classification came into existence. That is the great thing by first classification. By this first classification, we will come to know that the idea of classification, we need to classify the elements. That idea we got, that is very important. Even though it is failed model, he is not able to classify the elements into further categories. Simply he made that elements into metals and non-metals only. Even though it is failed, that idea we got, we need to classify the elements. That is the first success for J. Thomson. Is it okay? Next, we can go to second model. Before going to that second model, John Dalton gave the atomic weights of known elements at that time. John Dalton gave the atomic weights of known elements at that time. Okay, he was a scientist who proposed, who found atomic weights of different elements at the time. Then, by name Dobereiner, proposed next classification, which is called Dobereiner law of triads. Dobereiner proposed the next model, that is called Dobereiner law of triads. Okay, here he got one point that simply without any consideration of particular property, elements were classified by J. Thomson. That means we need to consider one particular property. Depending on that only we have to classify, like that. No, nothing is there. Simply metallic properties are different from non-metallic properties. Like that he told. Okay, but Dobereiner got one idea that he has considered one main property of elements, that is called atomic weight. He considered the main property of elements, that is atomic weight. Depending on that atomic weight, he has observed some similarities in some elements. Okay, that one we will see now. Let us consider lithium, sodium and potassium. Lithium atomic weight is 7 units. Potassium atomic weight is 39 units. Dobrynin proposed that, Dobrynin law of triads, he classified the elements into different sets in which each set is containing 3 elements. Dobrynin classified the elements. At the time, how many elements were there? That many elements were classified into different sets. He made them into different groups. Each group has 3 elements. That's why this group is called triad. Tri means 3. And one more property he observed, that average of atomic weight of first and third element, or arithmetic mean of atomic weight of first and third element, arithmetic mean or average, is equal to first element atomic weight is 7 plus third element atomic weight is 39 divided by average is 2 is equal to 46 by 2, 23. That is the atomic weight of middle element sodium. That is the atomic weight of middle element sodium. Then he proposed one statement, that is, average of atomic weights of first and third element is approximately equal to atomic weight of middle element. This is called Dobrynin law. Average of atomic weight of first and third elements is approximately equal to atomic weight of middle element. In this condition, it is almost accurately equal, but if you consider calcium, strontium and barium, calcium atomic weight is 40, barium atomic weight is 137 units. Average of these two, 40 plus 137 divided by 2, 177 divided by 2, 88.5. Strontium atomic weight is 88 units, approximately equal. Those average is 88.5. Actually, strontium atomic weight is 88 units. So, average of atomic weights of first and third elements is approximately equal to atomic weight of middle element. Depending on this, he classified some elements into groups. Each group has 3 elements, which is called one set is called one triad. That's why that name itself it is getting Dobrynin law of triads. Then main classification I did not say. See, when he classified the elements in the increasing order of their atomic weights, lithium 7, sodium 23, potassium 39, calcium 40, strontium 88, barium 137. In the increasing order of their atomic weights, he found that properties of lithium, sodium and potassium are almost same. Properties of lithium, sodium, potassium are almost same. See, he considered one basic property, atomic weight. Depending on that atomic weight, he classified the elements into different sets. Then he observed that each set has almost remaining properties are also same. Lithium, sodium, potassium, maximum properties are same. Calcium, strontium, barium properties are also getting same. Is it okay? For example, I am going to establish one school. For your understanding purpose, one explanation I am giving my general example. For your understanding purpose, I am going to establish one school. Okay, that school contains, I first initial stage na, I told that it will be containing first to fifth classes only. Then admissions are opened, and some students they joined in the age level of 5 years. Some students they joined in the age level of 7 years. Some students they joined in the age level of 8 years. Some students they joined in the level of 10 years. Is it okay? At the time I don't know how to run the school also. That is initial condition. Even other schools are also not there. Myself I am going to establish new school. Like that you can think ma. For your understanding purpose I am telling this one. Okay. Now all the students of different age levels, 5-year students, 7-year students, 8-year students and 10-year students, I made them as one class only. Because I thought that if I make them into one class, it will be easy for me to teach. Because at a time, classes will be completed like that, I thought. Is it okay? Then I kept all the students, all the age levels of the students in one classroom only, and I sent the teacher to teach the class. After completion of the class, the teacher came out and said that it is very difficult to take the class. Why? Immediately you will say that that class contains different age levels. Then the teacher will feel difficulty in a way that if he says very slowly the topic, this fifth class student level mind level is there na, he will feel very bored because already known things are there. Then if the teacher teaches to the level of fifth class student, first class student cannot understand anything. Then he has to follow one particular teaching only, correct or not? But here all the level of students are there. That's why first day it is failed. Teacher did not feel did not feel easy to teach the students. Then he thought that what is the mistake I have done? Means myself. What is the mistake I have done? Everything is gone well only, but why that teacher did not feel easy? Then I thought that okay, all the students are in one group only, one class only. That's why he might be difficult. He felt difficult like that, I thought. Then my mind started thinking that I need to classify the students. Is it correct or not? See, initial condition I got here. Classification of elements idea we got na, like that here also. I need to classify the students. Why I got this idea? If continuously if it is going on like this, it is very difficult to teach the students. So to teach the students in a easy way, I need to classify the students. That idea I got. But how to classify that one, I don't know. How to classify that one, I don't know. Simply, next day, I made the total class into two groups. One group has 5 age level and 7 age level. Another group has 8 age level and 10 age level. Classification is started. Very good. But even though here some difficulty, somewhat difficulty is reduced, but even this teacher, if it comes into this class, both levels are there. Here also 8th and 10th both level, 8 years age and 10 years age, both levels are there. Again teachers will feel difficulty. Is it correct or not? Then immediate my mind think that I need to consider one basic property. Depending on that basic property only, I have to classify the students. Is it correct or not? Then that basic property came into mind, that height. For example, I am telling here. Then depending on the height, I classified these two classrooms also into further. Totally I got 4 classrooms. But students, you can say that, is it correct classification of height depending on this property? Is it correct, ma? No, because sometimes 10 years age student might be containing less height. 5 years age student might be containing higher. So we cannot say depending on height it is not correct. Now first thing is, we got one idea that we need to take one basic property. Is it correct or not? That basic property we have taken wrongly. Okay, no problem. But after classifying depending on height, he will come to know, myself I will come to know that definitely this is also not correct property. Then I will change that property. Is it correct or not? Then finally I came to conclusion that it is not height or any other thing. Better to go to age level or knowledge level. Age wise classification must be taken place, or knowledge wise classification must be taken place. Like that I thought. So finally I considered one basic property. Then depending on age level, observe carefully this sentence, ma. Depending on this age level, if I classify the students, one classroom contains 5 years age level, another classroom contains 7 years age level. Like that, depending on exactly, finally I got one point, importantly basic property, that is age level. Is it okay, ma? Okay, depending on age level only I classified 5 years age level, 7 years age level, 8 years age level. I took basic property as age level, but remaining properties are also almost same. 5 years age level heights will be almost same. 1 or 2 exceptions might be, but all the 5-year students in the range of same height. Their knowledge level is same. Is it correct or not? Their thinking level is same. All these are getting same when we take one basic property, age level. Is it correct? Like that, Dobriner considered one basic property, atomic weight. Dobriner considered one basic property, atomic weight, and he thought that depending on atomic weight, if you classify the elements, then remaining properties are also getting same. Lithium, sodium, potassium valencies are same. Their chemical properties are same. Lithium, sodium, potassium are soft metals. Are you getting my point? Their valencies, how they will undergo reaction with oxygen, they will form similar types of compounds. Like that he observed, and he classified the elements into one group depending on atomic weight. That is the major thing. Here age level we got, na, like that he got one basic property. I hope you are understanding, ma. Okay, then calcium, strontium, barium, they are showing depending on atomic weight, he arranged the elements in the increasing order of atomic weights, and he considered this group. This group contains 3 elements. They are showing some similar properties, ma. Then he succeeded somewhat, but all the elements he could not classify into triads. That is a major thing. All the elements were not classified. Hardly 3 or 4 sets only he made. That is the main drawback. Dobriner's drawback is he classified the elements into 4 or 5 sets only, hardly. Remaining elements he did not classify. And one more thing, let us consider carbon, nitrogen, oxygen. Carbon atomic weight is 12 units, nitrogen atomic weight is 14 units, oxygen atomic weight is 16 units. If you take average of first and third one, ma, 12 plus 16 by 2, 28 by 2, it is 14. We are getting middle element. Average of atomic weights of first and third element, we are going to get middle element atomic weight. But carbon, nitrogen, oxygen valencies are different. Their chemical properties are different. physical properties are also different. Meaning, even though it is following Dominier law of triads, all the three elements are not showing same properties. Is it correct or not? Then some drawbacks are there in Dominier law of triads also. First drawback is he could not classify all the elements into triads. He could not classify all the elements into triads. Second one, like this, some exception cases are there, but successful classification means he made one success, that is basic idea. For the classification, basic idea is required. That is the important point we have to consider from Dominier law of triads. Is it okay, ma? The successful explanation of Dominier law of triad is we need to consider one basic property to classify the elements. But drawbacks are he could not classify the elements into all the elements into triads, and even some elements they are showing Dominier law, but they are not containing same properties. Then from this we have to get that positive point and we have to go to next law. Okay, ma? What is that positive point? We need to consider one basic property to classify the elements. That point was taken by Newland, and he gave one theory called Newland's law of octaves. Let us see that one, ma. Okay, from Dominier law of triads, we understood that we need to consider one basic property to classify the elements. And what is the next theorem? That is given by Newland. The theory name is Newland's law of octaves. Parallelly, Newland is the scientist as well as he is the musician also. Okay, this musician concept later we will see. First, Newland arranged the elements in the increasing order of their atomic weights. Newland arranged the elements in the increasing order of their atomic weights. Then he found that, what did he find? Let us see that one. At that time, helium was not there. Okay, hydrogen keep aside, ma. Hydrogen keep aside. Let us start with lithium. Lithium atomic weight is 7 AMU. Beryllium 9 AMU. He has taken the elements and he arranged the elements in the increasing order of their atomic weights. See, he arranged the elements in the increasing order of atomic weights. Boron 11 AMU. Carbon 12 AMU. Nitrogen 14 AMU. Oxygen 16 AMU. Fluorine 18 AMU. Lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, increasing order of atomic weights. Like that, if you go on keeping the elements in the increasing order, again it is not a correct classification. Simply we will keep it in one line. Is it correct or not? Simply we are increasing the elements in the increasing order of atomic weights. Okay, we kept. But fluorine, after fluorine, what is the next element? Neon. Actually, at the time, neon was not discovered. Inert gases were not there. At the time of Newland's law of octaves, inert gases were not there. Then next element is sodium. Okay, but Newland found that Sodium atomic weight is 23, okay, but sodium is showing properties like lithium. These elements whatever we have written up to fluorine ma, they are not showing properties like lithium. Then he understood that when we arrange the elements in the increasing order of atomic weights, after some extent the properties of first element is getting repeated. He found that sodium, instead of keeping here, better to keep here. Why? Sodium properties and lithium properties are almost same. Then he kept sodium under lithium. This is also according to increasing order. Not only sodium, he found that after sodium, magnesium atomic weight is 24 AMU. He found that magnesium is showing properties like beryllium. Is it okay? After that, aluminum 27 AMU. Aluminum is showing properties like boron. Silicon is showing properties like carbon. Then he found one thing: after some extent, when we arrange the elements in the increasing order of their atomic weights, after some extent, properties of elements are getting repeated. Okay, that repetition of properties happened from first element and eighth element. Let us consider lithium as first element. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Eighth element. First and eighth elements properties are getting repeated. First and eighth elements properties are getting repeated. Then he said that sodium is kept under lithium. Okay, if you consider beryllium as first element, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Eighth element is magnesium. First element and eighth element properties are getting repeated. That's why he kept the heading octave. Silicon, after silicon, phosphorus 31 AMU. After phosphorus, sulfur 32 AMU. These are exactly matching ma. Chlorine 35.5 AMU. Like that, he found one important property, that is, after some extent, when we arrange the elements in the increasing order of their atomic weights, after some extent, their properties are getting repeated. The term is called periodicity. Today by 6 o'clock we got morning. After that, slowly day is going on. We will get again night. After getting slept, morning we will wake up again. We will get morning. Correct or not? That means periodic change. After some regular intervals of time, if the change is happening again and again, after regular intervals of time, correctly after 12 hours, we are getting day. After 12 hours, we are getting night. Some exceptions might be there. During some days, some exceptions might be there, but like this regularly, we will observe general trends. Correct or not? These are all called periodic changes, like that we might have studied in earlier classes. Here also, after regular intervals of time, after arranging the elements in the increasing order of their atomic weights, scientists found that periodicity in elements. This periodicity is important concept because without periodicity, if you go on keeping arranging the elements in the increasing order, no classification will be happened. Straightly we will get elements in the increasing order only of atomic weights. That is not a correct classification. Correct? As periodicity came into existence from the classification Newland's law of octaves, this property, they thought that this is one of the important concept to classify the elements. That's why they included this one in the heading periodic classification of elements. That periodic term we got from here only. when we arrange the elements in the increasing order of their atomic weights, properties of elements are getting repeated. That repetition of anything is called periodicity. As the properties are repeated, then only we are able to keep sodium under lithium, magnesium under beryllium, aluminum under boron, silicon under carbon, phosphorus under nitrogen, sulfur under oxygen. Everything it is matched. Then only we are able to keep the elements as one set like this. Otherwise it will take again so much time to classify. Correct or not? So the term periodicity came into existence from the theory Newland's law of octaves. Then why did I say he is a musician like that? He compared the musical notes sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa. Observe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th. First note and 8th note are getting repeated. First note and 8th note are getting repeated. Sa, sa. He compared like this. First element and 8th element properties are getting repeated. Is it correct, ma? First element and 8th element properties are getting repeated. First element and 8th element properties are getting repeated. That is called Newland's law of octaves. Oct means 8. Elements properties of first element and 8th element are getting repeated. That's why he kept sodium under lithium. Is it okay, ma? Now Newland's law of octaves, I hope you are clear. Physical and chemical properties of elements are the periodic functions of their atomic weights. Physical and chemical properties of elements are the periodic functions of their atomic weights. When we arrange the elements in the increasing order of their atomic weights, we are observing periodic functions of physical and chemical properties of the elements, meaning physical and chemical properties of lithium were repeated with physical and chemical properties of lithium were repeated with sodium when we arrange the elements in the increasing order of their atomic weights. So main basic property is atomic weights. Physical and chemical properties are getting repeated. When we arrange the elements in the increasing order of their atomic weights, their physical and chemical properties are getting repeated. Physical properties of lithium repeated with sodium. Next, after chlorine, argon is not discovered, ma. Here we can keep potassium. After potassium, calcium. So lithium properties repeated with sodium, sodium properties are repeated with potassium, beryllium properties are repeated with magnesium, magnesium properties are repeated with calcium. That is the meaning obtained from this statement. Physical and chemical properties of elements are the periodic functions of their atomic weights. Means what is the basic property we considered? Atomic weight. When we arrange the elements in the increasing order of their atomic weights, we found that their physical and chemical properties are getting repeated. That is, physical and chemical properties of elements are the periodic functions of their atomic weights. This is the point we got from Newland's law of octaves. Okay, ma? And what is the important point or positive point we have to consider from this Newland's law of octaves? Periodicity is the term came into existence from Newland's law of octaves only. Periodicity is the term came into existence from Newland's law of octaves. So from here, scientists they considered two basic property, one basic property and periodicity also they kept in mind. From there onwards continuation of classification will be happened. Okay ma, till this it is like ancient classification. This is about today's class. In next class we will see what about the next classification. Okay, after that what about next further models we will see in next class. I hope you are clear about today's class. In today's class we have seen from where classification of elements was started. First what we have to why we have to classify the elements. After that ancient classification, dominant law of triads, Newland's law of octaves. These are the classifications we have seen in today's class. I hope you are clear ma. That is about today's class. If you have any doubts you can contact me, no problem, I will clarify your doubts. Okay, thank you all, have a nice day.